Hey guys, it's my first Amazing Race review of this season. Actually, I wasn't able to completely watch all of episode 1, so that's the reason why I didn't do a review on episode 1, but just caught episode 2, and then I went back after episode 2 and caught episode 1. So, here's a few observations I made about this season. So, I was wondering how long it was going to take Rachel from Big Brother to actually cry this season. She did a lot of crying. Well, the last 2 times she was on Big Brother. But it actually took till the second episode before she cried this season. She went an entire episode without crying in episode 1. And it was about 36 minutes into the second one before she actually broke down and had her first crying fit. Fortunately, unlike the Big Brother house, there wasn't a bush for her to cry in Argentina, so she just had to do it right out in public. But she kind of got distracted by Brendon's boogers. So, it's actually kind of fun. And how long would it be before Brendon would make a racist comment about Mexicans? It was just a wee bit past the halfway mark of episode 1, as it turns out. Should be noted, though, I think that he does have Spanish heritage in his blood. If I remember correctly from Big Brother last season, I think he's part Mexican himself. And why, out of everybody that could have been cast from the city of Tampa, why in the world did the casting directors choose a married clown couple? Seriously? You have federal agents, you have reality TV stars from other shows, you have Joey Fitness, who looks like he's right off of the Jersey Shore. I think he's a club promoter. You have all these noble professions. And then you have 2 clowns. And they have to be the ones from Tampa. But they weren't nearly as laughable as the 2 bromance friends from Kentucky. I think their names are Mark and Bopper. Bopper? What kind of a name is Bopper? Anyway, these guys were totally stereotypical. I know that there are lots of parts of Kentucky, West Virginia, that, well, they're not the places you would want to go on vacation to. But good Lord, they took these people straight out of the boonies. Right out of the holler. I mean, their accent makes mine look like a British accent. I mean, they were really, really, really Southern. It was so bad they had to have subtitles because you could not understand what in the world these guys were saying. They were really bad. And is it Bopper, I think, is the black guy? Not to be racist or anything, but did they have to get the only black guy in that entire county in Kentucky? Because this, from what I understand, I think it was Clay County, Kentucky, which is like, I think in the eastern part near West Virginia and Virginia border. Trust me, there aren't that many black people there. I'm from that part of the country, so I know. There are not that many. Literally, you might have a family of 10 in an entire town or an entire county in that area. So, I don't know. It must be the only one from that side of the county. In the Solar Kitchen Challenge in episode 2, what were they thinking? Okay, first of all, it's Argentina. It's the desert highlands. This area gets very little rain whatsoever during the year. I mean, it's really hot there. And they choose to have these people go out into this desert, spend an entire day, more than likely without sunscreen, without any type of protection, sweating their asses off, trying to put together a solar kitchen so they can boil a little kettle of tea. All that focused radiation from the sun beaming on these people is going to give every single one of them skin cancer in a few years. Not smart. Those things were nothing more than space-age torture devices. And that cattle auction math puzzle that ended up making Rachel cry, and it ended up basically kicking the two clowns off because they just could not get this challenge. I think that probably would have ended my trip as well because I can't count that well. I mean, I can count, but not without, like, a calculator or technology. Poor Rachel, she can't count that well either. You would think she could because on Big Brother, she was the one that was coming up with all these math games. I think she won every single challenge for head of household that involved counting or postulating, like how many, parts were on a particular assembly that Big Brother had done. So I would have thought that she would have done better, but she claims she can't count. And I mean, I remember the big booty game that she came up with for Big Brother and had all the house guests doing it, where they would count and they had to memorize and count around the table and remember the number. I would have thought she would have been able to have done good. And I'm pretty sure that math challenge would have probably have ended my trip. Now, actually, the skydiving challenge from episode 1 would have ended my trip. It would have ended my life. I mean, when this show first started, this is like the 20th season now of Amazing Race. When this show first started, me and my dad used to watch it religiously. And my dad would say, "Oh, I could do Amazing Race. That looks like that'd be fun." And through the seasons, I've watched it too, and I've just about every challenge, I'm like, that looks fun. I probably could do that. They do have some height challenges, like you're either zip lining across, a valley, or I think one year they did bungee jumping. But I've got a fear of heights, not like stable heights. Like I can go to the top of a skyscraper and it won't bother me. And I have ridden roller coasters and actually enjoyed riding roller coasters, and I can fly, I can get on a plane, and it really doesn't bother me. But it's because I'm in a stable environment. Like I've got a floor around me, I have, walls around me, whether it's in a plane, a skyscraper, an elevator, a roller coaster. At least you have a floor and you have things around you. You have the big thing that comes down around your shoulders that latch into the seatbelt. That's a stable environment. I can deal with that. But I could never jump out of a plane. It would kill me. It would literally kill me. About the first 5-10 seconds falling out of a plane, I would die. So this just goes to show that I'm not ever, 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 ever going to audition for The Amazing Race. I think there's a couple people that I work with that probably should go on it, but I would never be able to audition for it.